Although he has a remarkable amount of competition, Luka is almost universally considered the most talented young player in the NBA. He reminded all of us why in an epic performance against the New York Knicks on December 27th. Doncic scored 60 points, took 21 rebounds, and passed for 10 assists. That tied the record for the highest-scoring triple-double in league history. But how did this normal-looking kid from Slovenia get so unnaturally excellent at shooting hoops? What is his secret? Let's start at the beginning and see what makes the player dubbed Wonder Boy tick. The future All-Star was born in Ljubljana, the capital city of Slovenia, in 1999. It is a tiny country. With 2.1 million folks, the whole nation is a bit smaller than Houston. And like many of the game's biggest stars, basketball was in his blood. You see, his father, Sasha Doncic, was a coach and retired player. He wasn't a massive star or anything, but back in the day, he represented his country at both the under-16 and senior levels. Sasha also won 2 Slovenian titles in a row, in 2007 and 2008. Today, he coaches KD Illyria, a team from Ljubljana in the top basketball league back over there. With those genes, it is no surprise that the younger Doncic began playing very early. In fact, his family insists that he first picked up a basketball at the tender age of 7 months. At age 1, the precocious toddler was shooting at a miniature hoop in his room. He was a single child, so that coach daddy could pour all of his knowledge into Luka. But the young prodigy was raised mainly by his mother, Miriam Potterbin. She was a model and hair salon owner, and quite the model too. Mom was a contestant in the 1993 Miss Slovenia pageant. Though she lost, Potterbin landed a job hosting the local spin on Wheel of Fortune. The Doncic couple split in 2008, and Miriam was awarded full custody of Luka. Slovenia is a small country, but basketball is very big there. Luka got involved in their high-level youth programs at age 7. Then, at age 8, his team Union Olympia moved the budding guard to the under-11 team. Yes, he was already that good. Mother Miriam went to Madrid with Luka and acted as his sole guardian in a country where he did not know the language and customs. She played a vital role in protecting his interests as he matured into the best prospect in continental Europe. However, it is worth noting that despite their closeness, Luka and his mother are currently embroiled in a legal battle. Back when she was running the young player's career, Miriam trademarked the phrase Luka Doncic 7. Now that he is worth a good deal of money, the player wants the rights to the valuable moniker back. Indeed, Luka was showing explosive talent, so there was no way tiny Slovenia could contain him for long. In 2011, Union Olympia participated in the Under-14 Vasa and Tessa São Paulo Cup held in Budapest. Luka absolutely killed it at the tournament and was named MVP as he led the underdog team to the final, where they lost to the far bigger Barcelona FC. The young point guard's performance caught the eye of Barcelona's biggest rivals. Real Madrid Baloncesto is the most successful team in Europe, with 36 Spanish championships and 10 EuroLeague titles, more than any other team in history. So, when they come calling for Luka, the boy and his protective mother jumped at the chance. At first, the Slovenian guard was brought to the Spanish powerhouse on loan, but by the end of 2012, Madrid had signed him to a 5-year contract. They did not doubt Luka's immense potential to become one of their greatest players. He rewarded them by helping Madrid win the Minicopa del Rey, the premier youth competition in the country, in 2013. Averaging 24.5 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, it may not shock you to learn that he picked up MVP honors. Oh, and this time he beat Barcelona FC. At age 16, Luka was picked by Real Madrid to participate in the 2014-15 EuroLeague Basketball Next Generation tournament. The showcase was intended for the best under-18 players and wasn't generally intended for the younger age group. But the Slovenian prodigy is no ordinary player and picked up the tournament MVP. Of course, by this point, it was clear that Doncic was ready for senior-level basketball. The Slovenian spent most of his 2016-17 rookie season coming off the bench and averaging 7.5 points per game. Despite limited minutes, the Slovenian was recognized as the next big thing, winning the EuroLeague's Rising Star Award unanimously. Not bad for a 17-year-old in the pros. But Luka was ready to contribute regularly the following year and scored 27 points in his first EuroLeague game, with Doncic universally recognized as the best player on the team. Therefore, he was named EuroLeague Final Four MVP and EuroLeague MVP. Within 1 year of becoming a starter, it looked like there was little left for the guard to accomplish in Europe. NBA scouts couldn't fail to take notice of the phenom and watched his every move. He stood for the 2018 NBA draft and was selected third overall by the Atlanta Hawks. Behind who? DeAndre Ayton and Marvin Bagley III. No comment. But as we know, Atlanta did not hold on to Doncic and traded him for the rights to Trae Young and a first round the following year. The bookies placed Luka as the favorite to win Rookie of the Year in his first NBA season, and they nailed their prediction. He was sensational right off the bat. His 21.2 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 6 assists per game established Doncic was a star. Indeed, he earned the second most all-two-star votes behind LeBron James. Although, because of the strange calculations of votes alongside coach selections at the All-Star Game, Luka was not selected in 2018. But no worries, that disappointment did not last long. In 2019-20, Luka was selected as a Western Conference starter, and with the tremendous season he enjoyed, it was an easy choice. The Mavs point guard almost averaged a triple-double that year, scoring nearly 29 points, taking down 9.4 rebounds and passing for 8.8 assists. It was one of the best second seasons any NBA player had enjoyed. He was the first player to make the All-NBA first team in one of his first 2 seasons since 1998-99, and was the second youngest player ever to make the top 5 in MVP voting. And the guard led the Mavs to the playoffs. Luka became the youngest player in the NBA postseason history to score a 40-point triple-double. He nabbed 43 points in an exhilarating 135-133 overtime victory over the LA Clippers. However, despite his best efforts, the Mavs would fall to the Clippers in 6 games. The Mavs know a good thing when they see it. So, they gave Luka a 5-year, $207 million rookie extension, more significant than any other in league history. The point guard rewarded the front office with another excellent season. Luka's stats were slightly lower than the year before, going down about a point a game. But he had become a better-rounded team player and allowed Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie to come to the fore. Under the able tutelage of Jason Kidd, the team achieved their best record in the Luka era and an impressive 52-30 record. This time, the Mavs did far better in the playoffs than expected. Though seeded 4th in the West, they made it to the conference finals. They beat the Jazz 4-2 in the first round. Then they shocked the number 1 seed Phoenix Suns 4-3 after going behind 3-2 in the series. However, the Mavs were almost swept by the eventual champion Golden State Warriors. Again, Luka brought his best stuff to the playoffs, averaging over 31 points per game and grabbing nearly 10 boards. As always, Luka looked fierce so far in 2022-23. He will almost certainly be an all-star, and the Mavs look set to make the playoffs again. How good is Luka? I think we can all agree that Luka's performance in the NBA has been outstanding. Just look at some of his achievements. He is the first player to reach over 20 triple-doubles by age 21, and the first to have a 30-point triple-double as a teenager. Not surprisingly, he is the youngest player to lead the NBA triple-doubles. He was Rookie of the Year and EuroLeague MVP. His phenomenal form has seen him make the All-NBA team 3 times in a row, and Luka is just 23. So, okay, Luka puts up phenomenal numbers, but what makes him so unstoppable? He certainly does not have the most athletic body in the world, and many players have more physical gifts, but he has the most impressive court positioning in the league. It's incredible how he can anticipate where the ball is going and use his strength to get opponents out of the way before they know what's happening. Luka always seems to be in the right place to get the ball. The correct word for his special something is basketball IQ, and the Slovenian has that stuff in spades. And it helps that the dude can hit a shot from pretty much anywhere once he gets it. But as we know, there are always haters and naysayers. He ain't perfect. One problem is Doncic always seems to be arguing with the refs and is generally irritable. It's not the kind of calm and collected demeanor you want from a leader. And other people pick on the fact that the Mavs haven't gotten very far in the playoffs in the Doncic era. For that reason, he has been accused of being a stat padder, along the lines of Russell Westbrook. But these problems are unlikely to dog him throughout his career. Last season, Dallas went further than ever before in the playoffs because the core of the players around him was better. No one who has watched Doncic in the big games can say he doesn't perform. Luka doesn't choke. It's not in his nature. And his irritability is part of what makes the guy so competitive. Luka hates losing and never lets a slight go. There has been this long-standing myth that European players are soft, but that ends with Doncic. The guy is tough as nails, trash talks with the best of them, and enjoys nothing more than humiliating rivals on the way to victory. It's that Michael Jordan, Christian Laettner spirit that wins titles. With his current career trajectory, Luka appears destined for the Hall of Fame and more than one MVP and championship.